Hey everyone, this is Buck with 360 OSI coming to you with a field living tip. I want to talk to you today a little bit about your rations that you might be able to use in the field, in a field environment, survival situation. Not going to go too far into all the different types, but use a couple of examples here today. One being the MRE, meal ready to eat. There's also some other names for them, but we're going to go with the MRE, or meal ready to eat, for this purpose today. If you can't heat it using a stove or fire or any other method that would be useful to heat up the food, another thing that you can do is use your body heat. Now, the reason I'm going to talk about this is because when you've got rations, when you've got food that you can consume, whether it be food that you've stored or packed, things of that nature, or come across, traded for, bartered for, things of that nature, you want to be able to heat your food at least to body temperature to consume it if possible. Makes it better for your morale, makes it better for your digestion as far as turning the food into energy so that your body doesn't have to work quite so hard to process it. So not being able to heat it in a normal manner, fire, field stove, heat tabs, things of that nature, I'm going to go ahead and show you just a couple of quick things that you can do today if you didn't have any other means to heat it. Take the unopened foil pouch for your meal ready to eat. This is the main meal, but you can use it for the fruit or any of the other components of the meal ready to eat. Simply place it under your arm for a given amount of time. I would say 30 minutes to an hour would be acceptable depending on the temperature. You can leave it there a little bit longer while you do other tasks. Sometimes you can even hold it under your arm as you're walking along if you're having to move and you're going to eat it later. This can also be very helpful when you are in a sleeping situation. You're down for the night and you've got food that you're going to want to consume in the morning to get you going after you've had some rest. Bring it into the sleeping bag with you and tuck it under your arm, tuck it under your knees, any other place where it can absorb some body heat. The foil packs work pretty well because they conduct your body heat back into the food, so that at least it warms it up to close to body temperature. Another option is some of the ready meals that they make. Store shelves, different chain stores will have these things, and they're pretty inexpensive, and a lot of folks have been using them for their preps. So same thing, they come in a pretty heavy plastic bag. You want to take the unopened bag, do the same thing. Place it next to your body, hold it next to your body for a good amount of time to be able to heat it up so that you can enjoy that a little bit later. What happens if you don't have a MRE foil pack or a ready meal, something of that nature? What else can you use? The old MRE wrapper, pretty heavy plastic bag. If you've got other food, I suggest not using food with a high liquid content. However, anything that you have that you need to heat up would work just fine, because the bag isn't normally going to leak. It's a matter of whether or not the seal would hold for you. But you simply place the contents, open the contents from the can, if you're talking about canned food, place it into the bag, and then you'd want to roll the edges of the bag pretty tightly. And once you'd had the edges rolled up pretty tightly, if you can secure it with some tape, this will help to maintain sort of a seal. I'm just going to do this really quick. You'd probably take a little bit more time to prepare this, do it right if you weren't worried about making a video. But you kind of get the point. We've taped the edges, we've rolled the edges fairly tight. The contents in the bag, same thing. Place it next to your body where your body heat can heat up the contents that you've just poured into the bag. Another method, if you've got a freezer Ziploc bag or any other types of Ziploc type bags that you can use to place the contents of canned goods into, the one thing about these is that the seal in the bag may not be quite as strong as some of your other materials that you might be using, so you want to be careful. If your bag is not that durable, you want to be careful to seal it well. Maybe use a little extra tape on it, and then once again, after you've dumped the contents of your canned food into the bag, place the bag near your body. Just a couple of quick tips. Good living in grubby times. Some of the things that you can do to make your time in a survival situation or in a field environment, hunting trips, camping trips, things of that nature, a little bit more palatable if you don't have the way to heat up your food. I'm Buck from 360. Stay safe and survive anything.